welcome to the Blood and Iron Finals live stream of the Victoria Highland Games Open 2019. I'm Eric Bailey, the head instructor at Blood and Iron Victoria, and we have 7 events for you for the finals, starting with cutting, so let's get underway.
Well, we've got our finals officially underway. Hello, my name is Nicole Smith, founding instructors of Blood and Iron Martial Arts, and I will be providing commentary for this event.
The single-handed sword is known for being quick and agile compared to being confined with 2 hands. You create additional structure, you have enhanced speed. What we're going to do is we're going to do something very similar to what we did initially, where you must do a total of 6 cuts in pairs. The difference here is you're not allowed to stop at any point. So you can do them in pairs of either 2 descending, 2 middle, 2 ascending. Again, however, you can change them in whatever order you would wish. You can do 2 middle, 2 descending, 2 ascending. You can open with 2 ascending, 2 middle, 2 descending, etc. However you want to do it. We will be filming this feat in order to get highest level of accuracy for judging, because you must not stop moving. If at any point you throw your cut and we notice a stop in your motion, we will tell you your round is over. You must keep moving. Yes?
You said in pairs.
It's like you still organize it in the way you want, but you're not allowed to stop. You're not allowed to dilly-dally either. You're not allowed to go 1, 2, 3. It must be cut, 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 cut.
So you want stepping with the cuts?
Steps for every cut.
Okay. Stopping for the motion, are you counting wrist actions coming through?
Yes. You must throw your cuts. That's about it. We'll make sure that we film it.
So Julian's just giving them the rule set for this particular feat, and the difficulty in this one is maintaining the flow. If at any point the competitor stops in their motion, they are automatically ended their round. And this is with a single-handed sword, so it's a little more difficult than just your traditional longsword cuts. Not a lot of people practice with single-handed sword. First up is Josh Ferrate.
Competitor, you stop between your actions, your round is over. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
And Josh is done. Apparently he paused just enough to displease the judges. Now I think part of the scoring is going to depend on the accuracy of the cuts. Well, that's definitely going to be part of the scoring, is accuracy of the cuts. And I think the second half is going to be how many cuts they're actually able to make. So we'll see who's up next. I'm just setting up, spiking the mats. Thankless job, but somebody's got to do it. Yep, good on tight. Jesse Tucker is up next. Hey, Jesse. Jesse Tucker is our next competitor. Jesse Tucker is actually one of our very first students at Blood and Iron.
Yes, sir.
He's like literally student number 1. He came to us late one day at almost, wow. He actually got through all of them. That's rather impressive. He showed up for his very first class late. We weren't accustomed to having people walk in our doors. Like literally, we were a little study group, and he walked in and asked if this was a sword fighting class. We almost threw him out because he walked in too late. Apparently, I need to be a little bit louder. How's that? Better? All right, we're setting up for the next one. Let's see who is up next. Oops. Again, the thankless job of spiking mats. Ever wonder why we don't have too many more cutting tournaments? It's because this takes a long time. Setting up, scoring, all of that. Next up looks to be Lee Smith, founding instructor of Blood and Iron. He's usually pretty good with a single-handed sword. We'll see how he does with. We'll see how he does with this one. Oh, okay, that one is not sufficient. He just gave a little pull on the mat, and apparently it flew right off. That is not gonna do at all. Yep, there we go. That one looks pretty solid.
Competitor, are you ready? I am. You may begin.
Way to go. Got through all of them without a pause. Very impressive. There was a little bit of spray on one of them, but the rest of the cuts look pretty good. That is one of the deductions that they make, depending on little pieces that fly off and how far they fall. Next up, it looks like they're going to be cutting through a double mat. One of the things I like about cutting tournaments is the fact that every cutting tournament comes up with their own feats. And it changes from tournament to tournament. And it kind of depends on the creativity of the person running it. Julian's going to give them the next set of rules.
So I mentioned earlier that the longsword sacrifices a lot of speed for structure. You've got two hands on there. I present a double rolled mat, twice the density. You are allowed unique cuts. You are not allowed to repeat the same cut twice. Okay? I will allow you to use basic true edge cuts, but who dares wins. If you can get some false edges at the same angle to get more points, more power to you. This is a longsword fee, as I mentioned. Same rules as we've done before. You must make sure that all the judges are ready, looking at you, hand clearly up. If they're looking down, they can't see you score. Right? Make sure they are looking, and we'll make sure that it's very clear when you're ready. Yeah.
So, is there any like how many points are being scored?
If you would like, it's basically broken down between all four of us. The actual cutting, the quality of your cut is worth half the total score, and the form, whether you overcommit your shoulders, which would be bad to do during a fight, or bad rotation of your knee, etc., things that would be bad to do during a fight, is also worth half. Anything that is unmartial behavior is point deductions. So if you were to show up in a fight, start fiddling around with your guard, take a full step, and then cut, well, obviously you're going to get hit on the way in. That's unmartial behavior. We don't want to reward that. Okay? You're not allowed to repeat the same amount of cuts. Make sure we're all ready to go, and then you'll let us know when you're done.
Okay. So you can have a descending true edge, descending false edge as a unique structure in that.
Yes.
Okay. We can stop between cuts.
Yes, make sure that we are touching between cuts. If you just start going, there's going to be a problem.
Okay. This time I will actually.
Yes, you may absolutely ask the table if we're ready. What also helps the table is to announce what you plan to do. If you want to say true edge descending from the left, we know that. False edge descending from the left, we know that as well. Just so it's very clear to yourself and us. Okay? Yes.
Last question. Is there any respike or resetting up of it?
You are allowed one respike.
Thank you.
All right. Are there any other questions?
Yes. If I've used my respike, am I allowed to reset with my sword a la the times that I've done that?
No. The only reason you are allowed to touch the mat is when you're actually cutting it.
As in the jam.
No.
All right.
All right. Josh Fred, you're off.
Okay, for this particular feat, it's not a continuous motion. They have to perform unique cuts, meaning each cut has to be different. They can't perform the same cut twice.
All good. I'll take this one.
They have to wait for the judges to actually be watching for each cut, basically asking permission before they perform it. First up, Josh Ferrate.
Okay. Judges, are we ready? Ready. Competitor, are you ready? Ready. Hands up, boys. So you're ready. True edge, sitting cut to the right.
Nice cut.
Make sure you guys write the competitor name on your sheets as well, Josh.
Josh is very patiently waiting for them to evaluate.
Descending from the left. True edge.
Descending from the left. Nice cut, nice clean, good angle. Judge, you ready? This one is going to be a false edge from the right. Ooh, not all the way through the mat. Now he's got to wait for his next attempt. See what he has planned. False edge cut from the left. Oh, again, not quite enough. Got most of the way through the mat, a little bit left hanging. Ooh, he stepped a little bit before that cut. They may deduct him for that. At this point.
False edge. On this end. Descending.
Ooh, almost made it through.
We're gonna call it there. Thank you.
All right, Josh is done. Cutting through 2 mats is a little more difficult than cutting through just one. If you have your angles right, though. Not such... I wonder if spiking 2 mats is any harder than spiking a single mat. Having a little bit of difficulty with the spiking of the double mats. Getting those getting to actually stick. You want them to be able to form an undercut and not have to worry about the mat flying off with it. All right, next up, Jesse Tucker. Now, in case you're wondering about Jesse's hat, he took a little injury in the Longsword tournament and grazed his skull a bit. And this is his solution to keeping the Band-Aid on.
Yes, sir. Judges, are we ready?
Sending true edge.
Sending true edge. Here it comes. Beautiful. I love that sword. When it actually goes through, it kind of sings a little bit.
False edge.
Nice false edge cut. A little steep, but went through. That's awesome.
Sending true edge.
True edge on the other side, but he cut a lot of the mat off. That's a shame.
Sending false edge.
Nice. Very nice cut. So far, Jesse's doing really well.
Sending true edge.
Ascending true edge. Beautiful, clean cut. Love it.
Sending false edge.
Oh, miss. 0 points for that.
Sending true edge.
Nice.
I've got stuff like this.
Yeah. Well done, Jesse Tucker. And the lovely sword that is a Principe. I love that sword. It's one of my favorite cutters. tough is it to cut those? It all depends on your angles. If you get the angle right, it goes straight through. Like you saw in Jesse's cuts, how the sword kind of made that little shing noise. When you actually get one of those, it's like you've missed.
Can you pull it in?
It goes through hot knife through butter.
Just pull it out while I'm pushing it.
If your angle's off just slightly,
Let it go.
it'll dig in and you won't get anywhere with
Oh,
it.
yeah. Push it down.
Now it's up to Lee. Let's see what he can do. Looks like he's using the Principe as well. I do like that sword, but my absolute all-time favorite is my personal sword, an Angus trim. Love that thing. Fortunately, I haven't been in many cutting tournaments lately to actually use it. So far, so good for Lee. Ooh, lovely cut. The absolute best if you can make a cut and just have it hang there.
Could be considered a penalty. Please announce what you're doing by hand. I'll make sure that those was not the case, but be aware that that could be seen as a method of measuring up first. Okay. Just inform us the direction and what measure you're doing. Okay.
Apparently, Lee forgot to mention what he was doing.
You just did a true edge ascending.
True edge ascending. Okay. A true edge ascending.
You just did true edge
Okay,
ascending.
I'm a true false edge ascending. Okay.
Yep.
Nice. A little bit of scallop there, but not too bad. Still got a lot of mat left.
Okay. I'm now going to horizontal cut, middle cut. Good? Yep.
Yep. Nice.
Okay. Alright. I will go. I'm going to go true edge descending this way. I have not done that cut yet.
Correct.
There may be a foot fault for that last one he stepped, but he didn't actually cut.
I do false edge this way now. Descending.
Ooh, nice, but a lot of mat loss there.
I have not made an ascending cut in this direction, not yet.
No.
I'll make an ascending cut from this direction. False edge.
Nice. He's calling it quits with that one, and that's good, because if you hit the peg, that is a major deduction.
I did not mean to measure up.
Those setting up for the next round. We'll see what Julian has in store for them as far as feats go.
We need both hands. Oh boy.
Cutting is very much its own thing. A lot of people get the jitters going into a regular tournament, but cutting is kind of special. You are literally the center of attention, and it's all on you. there's no one that you can blame. You know, there's no partner that you have that could mess things up for you. It's just you and that mat and about all the eyes. So we'll see how our boys handle it. Mind you, when you get to this level, it does. I think you're a little bit more able to tune it out. I'm really curious. They are setting up 2 stands, so I'm not sure what Julian has planned for them, but it looks interesting.
Went up a little bit.
right, so they're separating them. I have an idea about what he might be doing, but I'm going to wait and see. Inside the mind of Julian Schutze. Once we're done with cutting, we'll be moving on to single stick.
Stand up, the cat's like, don't mind it. I know it's when he goes back. That's funny.
You gotta run it.
All right, Julian's got a sword. Let's see what he's going to tell him to do.
This can't be the Highland Games without a very large sword. This is a Greatsword Montante cutting feat.
What's a great sword?
It is a great sword. It has a place true near to my heart.
Wait, where's that?
I don't know, somewhere back there. You have 2 mats in front of you. Similar to the first round, you must not stop. Very similar to how a Greatsword would happen. You must alternate between both mats. I will not be too picky about what cuts you do on both mats. But you must, in the smooth mat fashion, keep moving between both of them, akin to how you would move a Greatsword.
All you gotta do is
You can also adjust the mats based on where you need to be. You can choose to be here, move from one, cut to the other. Yeah, you can move around as much as you want.
So we can have rotational movement in between.
Yes, you don't have to go cut, 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 cut. No, this one you get, but it's like if you spend like 4 seconds out here, you will probably stop around. Keep it within the realm of reasonability. Okay? So for similar reasons, since these are continuous, we will film the feet and then reveal the final score. Quiet! Alright, so I will film it and then we'll be done. Do we have any questions about this particular feat?
Can I just call you a bastard?
Yeah, of course. Maybe a little later tonight.
Oh, Charlie.
It looks like Josh may not have experience with a great sword.
Oh, yeah,
He's cursing Julian right now. Now the trick to this one is continuous motion between the 2 mats. Now apparently they're not going to be picky with the kinds of cuts that Josh throws, so he's just getting a feel for this giant sword.
I will allow you a few seconds to familiarize yourself a little bit with the momentum behind it.
Thank you.
Would you like a couple more?
Please.
All right, go for it. All right, Josh. All right, let's do it. Are you ready, competitor? Ready! Tell me when to go. You may begin.
I love watching Josh compete. With him, everything is all about just have fun. I'm going to enjoy this tournament. I'm going to do the best I can.
Between those 2 cuts. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Apparently he paused just a little bit too long.
That's a really bad. Leaning and come back up.
But Josh is the sort of competitor that he's in the ring, he's practically bouncing. He's so excited to get out there and swing a sword at you. It just makes the event that much more fun when you get somebody who really, really enjoys what they do and they're doing it just for the love of sword fighting. And Josh is really one of those guys. I've always enjoyed watching him fight and, well, watching him cut as well. So I'm guessing next up will be Jesse Tucker. We'll see if Jesse can keep the flow going.
That's okay though.
I come to think of it, I don't think Jesse's had any practice with the Greatsword either, so we'll see how he does. It's very different when you're working with something heavier than you're used to. Where you practice with a particular weapon and then they hand you something that's a lot heavier than you're used to. Yeah.
Okay.
Competitor, are you ready?
Yes,
Guess he's gonna give it his bed shot.
You may begin.
Well, I guess that's it. The flow is good, but that one mat was really shredded. We'll see how many points he gets off of that. Next up will be Lee Smith. Now, Lee's a pretty strong guy, so he may have an easier time swinging the heavy sword than the other two did. We'll see if it makes a difference. All that weightlifting. He's giving it some practice swings. Well, he doesn't seem to be having too much trouble with it. Let's see if it pans out against the mats. Last little bit setting up the mats. Lee looks like he's ready to go, though. Lee's asked them to move the stands a little closer together.
Ready. You may begin.
Here we go. Yeah, way to go. Well, I have to say, of all of them, I gotta say, I think Lee won that one. There may have been some question as the other rounds as who came in first, but when it comes to swinging a heavy sword, it looks like Lee Smith got it down.
All right, that's it. Well done.
Well done.
For those who might not understand, that's a real heavy big boy.
Even for me.
Julian's just pointing out that this is no light sword. He chose it for that specific purpose. Now it looks like they're getting ready to prep for single stick. That will be the end of the cutting tournament. So now all that's left is just tally the scores. I guess they'll be announcing that shortly. So it looks like we'll be back in just a few minutes.
Volunteers to remove all this paper in a pile and then bring it somewhere else to get weights.
So I think they're just going to move it back a little bit. Direction? Yeah. Sorry.
You are fine. Everyone does it because everyone just calls us Ordo.
Yeah?
This is tradition.
Uh-huh.
Because you try to say Ordo Presanctus, and no one wants to remember it, but you just yell out Ordo all the time, and
Yeah.
that's all anyone remembers.
Well, okay.
Oh, no, there's nothing wrong with it. We don't even correct it. We're like, whatever.
You're Ordo. All right.
Yeah.
Well, you are now.
Yeah.
All right, so they are gearing up for the single stick finals. It looks like they have their line judges all ready to go. I think Eric is just going over some last-minute things.
Which is also, like, looking at our line judges, we actually have some really good competitors from single stick doing such, so that's a good thing.
Well, that's usually the challenge when we're doing the invitational tournaments, is
Oh, yeah.
all of our best judges are competing. So literally rotate through. If you're not fighting, you were judging.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah. I mean, case of every tournament, right? That's always the deal, is getting proper judgments.
Our best eyes are oftentimes in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, the perfect opportunity for training new eyes. So, yeah.
Well,
Get
one
those
of the-
guys out there.
That's also one of the things I think I love about the rule setup here so much, is that you actually have fighters with honorable systems that will actually call things out to help judging.
Yes,
So
no,
that
it helps a lot.
Yeah.
And I can tell you the number of times when you thought you saw something, or you just had a different angle, and it wasn't what you thought it was.
Yep.
And then having that person step up and point it out, no, this is what actually happened, or this is what I felt. Yeah.
Yeah. It's probably one of the best parts about coming up here every year for this tournament, is that feature. Like, you can come here and it's much more relaxed. It's a wonderful time.
Yeah. Well, I know you seem to enjoy yourself no matter what tournament you're in. So.
I mean, yeah.
I was just saying earlier, I love watching you fight because it's such a joy. You just love playing with swords and hitting people with swords. So.
I'm just a total 6-year-old that never grew up. It's perfect, and I love it.
I think it's one of our favorite things about you. Just keep doing it.
Yep. I won't stop.
I believe they're starting with the bronze match,
Yeah.
and we'll see who comes up for that.
I want to say the bronze match was Chad Aber and Stephen Kime.
You might be right.
Not
So we
Stephen
can-
Kime. No, it's not Kime. God, I'm always about Stephen because I fought him earlier and it was just an amazing time. Kevin DeRitter.
There you go. That might be it. Okay.
Yeah, I believe it's Kevin and Chad are for bronze, and it is Demetrius and Parr are going for gold, if I
Yes,
recall.
that's right. The weekend turns into such a blur.
Yeah.
You kind of. I know they're fighting, but I can't remember which one they're fighting for.
Well, the lucky fun part about me is because I like hang out with everybody and visit. I get to hear it like 18 times, so then
Yeah.
I know who everyone's fighting.
Fantastic. We're waiting on Eric. Where'd he go?
Yeah, I think he went over.
Oh, it's okay.
Not sure.
We'll work
Like
it
they
out.
were doing some technical difficulty for a second. Looked like.
Gotcha. Well, HEMA scorecard is great, but occasionally if you don't have a good internet connection, it can be problematic. So
It can be, but I will tell you what, like that thing has been a godsend ever since it came out. Like more and more tournaments shell out efficiency. Like last year, we still had an old Excel software, like handwriting and all this stuff. And
Yeah.
you needed an hour, and now it's like, oh look, 5 minutes.
yes,
If
no.
it's, and if we have a small breakdown and it goes further on, hey, you know what? It kicks back up. So HEMAscorecard.com, guys. Definitely,
Yeah, no,
definitely
absolutely
grab it.
fantastic thing. And I know it's data mining, and that's the whole reason why it was set up, so they can collect data. But you know what? Who cares?
Yeah.
It's just HEMA scores.
For me, I actually like the data gathering.
Yeah.
I find it interesting when you go to when we go to tournament scales. It's like depending on which tournament you are and the rule sets and what this gaming's like. There was a big release from STEM Sword about that. But I like seeing what people aim for. What's the goals? Like you can see all the different rotational pieces.
Yeah, I know a lot of people try to come up with different rule sets just to see what works and what doesn't.
Yeah.
So
Looks like we're finally ready. Yep.
So you are correct. It is Chad from Okanagan Combat Guild facing Kevin DeRitter from Blood and Iron Martial Arts.
This is going to be a good fun match. I got to watch them earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were intense.
Well, I know Kevin is really fast. Like for a little guy, he can move like lightning.
Oh, yeah. Don't be surprised though. Chad's
Chad does pretty
responses.
well too.
Yeah.
But I just know I fought Kevin.
Oh yeah.
And sometimes trying to hit that little guy is just
Scary part is I fought Chad, and I know what that man can do.
Oh, yeah.
My ribs still remember last year.
Almost.
Close.
Oh, he's calling a shot to the arm.
Nice. Good honor. That is.
Kevin DeRitter is calling or self-calling a shot to his arm.
1 point blue.
And there's the perfect example of the of like just that good honorable system that I really appreciate more about anything.
Yeah. Well, it's one of the things we've really tried to foster in all of our tournaments. Anywhere that we've, set things up, it's always been a thing.
Yep. Same here. I'd much rather be known for nothing.
Somebody called a hit. I'm not.
Target area. Lower leg. Yep. 2 points blue.
Calling it as a strike to the lower leg, which is 2 points.
I think it caught right below the knee.
Yep. Now, for all of our tournaments, the rule sets are slightly different. Now, for single stick, any shots below the knee count for 2 points.
Kevin made a nice aggressive exchange there. Yep, and that was so fast I didn't even see it.
Yeah, I know. Headshot for Kevin DeRitter. Not quite enough. Little tag to the leg, but there wasn't much behind it. Now, I know Chad's come a long way since last year.
Oh, he has come mountains away. Oh, so close.
Yep. Yep. Didn't quite get out fast enough.
Yep. 1 minus 1 point blue.
1 minus 1 blue. Final
Yeah.
score is 6-4 in favor of red.
And Kevin takes
And
home
that
the
is
bronze.
match red.
That was a really good exchange. I really like the filling out.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the nice things when you start getting into the medal matches. These are our best fighters.
Yep.
They will give us the best show. Yay, hug it up. Next up,
Gold medal match.
gold
Demetrius
medal
and
match.
Palmer.
Demetrius, or Meat as we call him, and Par.
I like to think that this is actually more of the Battle of the Shire and Isengard, and it's going to be great.
Yep, the Hobbit. Yep.
Yeah, you should have seen the match earlier with him and Kevin. We literally called it the Battle of the Shires for second breakfast.
Gotcha. That's funny.
You got to be able to laugh. This is going to be a very interesting match. Both are highly, highly skilled. And
Yeah, they are.
super fast.
Meaty's a bit of a showman, so he'll provide his own commentary some of the time.
Oh, yeah. Though that might be a little bit more X-rated that we don't need on a live stream. You might have to pay a subscription for it. Or if he gets hit in the nipple.
Uh-huh. Meat is also a lefty, so that kind of changes things a little bit for his opponents.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes cuts come in on unexpected angles. You can get away with things sometimes. Oh, I think he's self-calling a blow.
Self-calling headshot.
Wow, fantastic.
Par got right, just able to get through it. It was really well done.
Yeah.
What I love is when you can have a finals match where it really feels like you're sparring with your friend.
Oh,
Not fast enough.
not bad. So blow and after blow.
Well done, though.
Yeah, nicely done.
Yeah. And I think that actually has more to do with that left-handed positioning we were talking about earlier, because he just has a different angle change, where Par might got away with that in others, but not in that one.
Yeah, well, I find it in Rapier as well. Like
Yeah.
it does change things a lot.
Oh yeah, I got to fight a lefty in Rapier today.
Yeah.
This weekend it was amazing. And a
Ah,
self-call.
self-called. Par's calling a strike to his arm.
2 points for blue. Thank you, fighter. Good honor.
Thank you. These guys train out of the same club, so they're not going to try and cheat each other out of points. Both of these guys know when they're hit.
Oh, yeah. That's always a good thing. Good club culture leads to that. That's done.
Yeah, Meaty caught one in the ribs and then cracked the par in the head for it. So.
Yeah. Thing is, meat will be tenderized from that one.
Yep. Now, Meaty has a bit of an interesting background. Before he came to us, he did a stint with Cirque du Soleil.
Oh, wow.
So he came to our cell, and during the warm-up, he's starting to do, like, handstand push-ups.
That's not surprising.
No, not at all. And our immediate first impression was, yeah, okay, you like being the center of attention.
I mean, yes. I still remember watching Meat fighting in, I believe it was Rapier in Combat Con, like, and he was dying. Oh, no, it was single stick against Eric Bailey.
Yes. Okay.
Like, he was like, oh, my God, I'm dying. And it was the most hilarious fight I've ever watched.
Oh, not good. Double hit. Really? Oh. Okay.
Good fight. So it's something I always find when it comes down to the finals, though, is that
Well, you never like to see doubles in the final.
you don't like to see doubles at all, but I find that it'll be somebody will do it and they'll instantly realize they did the wrong thing.
Yep.
Because they were like, damn it, I wanted to make that one shot to get the win. But like,
I get it.
I mean, I've done it. I try not to, but like it happens.
It does happen.
Especially in like when it was a close match. Like that was a fairly close match.
Yeah. And very even too.
Oh yeah. So I believe we're gonna
Meaty's got himself a bronze medal.
Yeah.
Oh, gold medal. Sorry, that was the gold medal match.
Yeah, he got gold. Par got silver, and Kevin got bronze. Fourth goes to.
Now, next up, it looks like we're moving to open longsword.
I think we're having a 5-minute break in between each round.
Okay, that might make sense. Yeah.
I believe that multiple competitors asked. Since they're in multiple finals.
Yep. Need a minute to breathe and gear up before we get into longsword.
Oh yeah.
No, totally fine.
Jesse, there's no camera there.
If you want to bow before us, it is totally fine, though.
I mean, I like you on your knees. Again, this is not a PG rated channel, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize.
And has the internet ever been PG?
Yeah. I mean, I'm just surprised I haven't dropped an F-bomb yet. So, like, give me time. We actually had to do a blog interview for stuff at Rice University, and I just.
Yeah.
And they're doing editing, and it's like, we had to like bleep like probably about 3 sentences at one point because I just like started rambling, and then it just starts dropping. I call it the New Orleans shuffle.
Okay.
It just starts blabbering out. The sailor comes out in you.
Fair enough.
So also, I thoroughly enjoyed seeing like all the work we've been putting in with the ladies during the women's.
Oh yes, absolutely.
There's like
some real surprises there.
Yeah.
Like and a lot of improvement in some of the ladies that have returned.
It was really big for me because like Maddie and I came here last year.
Yes.
And she was. I think we took top 8 last year, and she was 9th.
Yeah.
And the last one without any doubles, and this year she came out 5th.
That's fantastic.
And then she had to fight Amber, our own Amber. So that was a fun fight, but it's just really good to see the huge change, and like Amanda got to fight her, and that was a fun time.
Yeah. Well, even from Blood and Iron, the Jen, who came out first overall in the pools, had never ever made it out of pools before this year, and she was shocked actually. She didn't know how she got there. But I think now she's going on to fight a gold medal match, her very, very first medal match, and it's a gold medal match.
I can tell you how she got there, because I watched her mow through the pools.
Yeah.
My God. She just did not relent, was smart.
It's like sometimes it just clicks.
Yep.
I think she was having one of those days.
It looks like we're gearing up for the Open longsword.
So it looks like George Primrose
And
is
it
to be
is-
fighting in red, and who's in blue?
Damn, I think it's Nathaniel. I can't remember. He is actually from. He's like only up here by himself, and from what I understood, from what I gathered, was mostly self-taught. We got to judge him in the eliminations. It was really pleasurable to watch.
Well, yeah. If you anyone who is self-taught, especially if you don't have a lot of training partners and you get this far, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, lightning fast fighter. Lightning fast.
Nice. George is our big surprise.
Yeah. Done.
Oh,
Nice.
that was nice. George took a strike to the head. Just didn't have his guard up that little bit.
Yep.
That's all it takes.
Arm really? I guess they had a better angle. We're
Yep.
also sitting back here.
That's true. Guard.
This is impressive.
Oh, that was a nice
That was
thrust.
a beautiful, beautiful inverter.
Wound it right in and stuck it. And it, yeah, it was controlled.
Yeah,
There
it
are
was-
extra points for control when you come in for a thrust. Actually, come in for a cut too. Now George is, come on. Oh, there you go. I thought I saw a point for red, but that's
I saw the shot from George more than I saw Blues.
yeah. Well, this goes down to that game of angles we were talking about
Oh,
earlier.
yeah.
We're on one side and they're on the other, so
Yeah.
who knows?
Conferring with the judges, we're deeming all the impacts there insufficient. No exchange.
That's good.
Okay.
Fence.
They
Yep.
were not happy with the quality of any of that, which is fair.
Okay. Make it to where you can see it.
Come on, George.
Ooh, that was.
That was better.
Yep. Good on both parties. A good. George came in with really good intent. The other man just got the parry up in time and then got a good riposte.
Yeah.
Well done. That was quick, but really well done. That controlled thrust really did it in.
Well, considering the amount of time that George has been with us and the fact that he made it to a bronze medal match is really impressive. Because last year, another one that didn't make it out of pools.
Yep. I remember.
So yeah, he's
Actually, I remember training with George afterwards
Yeah.
about it.
yeah. And he was a little bit disappointed last year, but he'd only been with us for about 4 or 5 months. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking he's a lot happier with his performance this year.
I'd like to think so, yeah. And it was Zach Brown from Thunder Bay, apparently.
That's it.
Yes. Really, it was really pleasure to watch him in the eliminations.
Yeah.
Some really good stuff.
Unfortunately, I think I was managing the other pit.
Yes.
I didn't get a chance to see
Yeah,
that.
it was a pit I was actually helping judge.
Gotcha. We have Kevin DeRitter up again
Mm-hmm.
in blue.
And David Atwell in red.
David Atwell,
Yeah.
another surprise, who I don't think made out of pools last year.
No, he actually did make it out of pools
Oh, he
last
did?
year.
Oh, yeah, he got as far as the limbs, and he didn't, yeah.
Yeah, I took him out.
Ah, okay. I'm sure he appreciated that.
Well, it was actually a really fun fight because he was like he kinked it up the notch when I came out, and that was like the intense one. That's the one that got my blood flowing. So I was
Yeah.
so excited. So I'm looking forward to seeing this one.
Oh, good.
Fighters.
Also, my hip remembers that.
Kevin DeRitter originally came to us all the way from Holland. Like, he specifically came to Canada to train with Blood and Iron. And it's actually worked out really well for him.
Yep.
I mean, not only has he gained a club, he met his wife at one of our socials, or sorry, his fiancée at one of our socials.
I mean, it's
So-
not the same. It's just the cheaper end of the spectrum. Yeah, Kevin's a really swell guy. I got to meet him at Crumpow last year. Great fighter. Yep. Felt the quality was insufficient, throwing it off.
Dave Atwell did not feel his strike was sufficient, and he's going to call it back.
Well done. So one thing I actually thoroughly enjoy about... Yeah, reset it.
Yeah.
One thing I enjoy about David is he has definitely improved from last year. Last year was come charge out with just straight cuts, and now you're seeing a lot more different guard works.
Yep, absolutely.
And Kevin is just.
Well, Kevin's one of our fight team members, so we work on those things a lot. He gets a lot more training than, say, an average student that just attends twice a week.
Yeah.
But Dave's sort of stepped up his game, too. Like, he may have been a one-day-a-week student, and he's decided that he wants to actually get better at this. So he's been coming twice a week. He's been coming to my Rapier class.
That's good.
Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of him.
Good.
And I guess it's paid off for him.
Yep. Again, the honor in this and the system up here and how most people fight in the club culture and just the overall culture of the tournament just is what I think excites me the most. Ooh, wow, that was tough.
Yeah, that was nothing there.
Nice slice.
Oh.
Ooh. Love it. Take a nasty little shot and just like.
Yeah.
You fine? Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would it not be?
Generally speaking, we don't target the back, so I don't know what happened there.
Well,
Dave
so
knows better.
Kevin came out for the slice, and I think Dave was just going again for that target.
Yeah.
Happens.
Oh, Dave's calling a shot to his arm.
Yeah. I think Dave is definitely improved from last year, but he definitely has that high aggression from last year still, and it's really well done.
Well, I think you got to be a little bit aggressive to do well in this sport.
Oh yeah. I like to think of it being assertive. That's what I tell my children when I get frustrated.
Be assertive.
I'm just being assertive.
Be assertive in your recreational violence.
Oh yes.
Oh, that was nice.
That was well done.
Yep. Like I said, Kevin's really good at getting in and getting out.
Yeah. I'd like to assert dominance in the ring.
Hey, assert dominance everywhere. No.
Oh yeah. It's about. Yeah, it's gonna be a double.
Oh, too bad.
Yeah. Both were doing really good movements, and then we end up right there.
Oh, grapple. Oh. I think Dave was trying to do the ring out thing, but Kevin kind of turned it around on him.
Well, you know, it's what they always like to say when you latch on, you just hold grip until they stop breathing. Oh,
that.
Judges, point red, target area, red, 4 points red. Fighters bring it in, please.
Yeah.
Not entirely sure what happened with that one.
So
it almost looked like it hit to the back of the head.
It was close. It hit right here.
Oh, okay.
Just below, but it's still in a bad vicinity. And I think it was the momentum and trying to redirect. So like David was, when I fought him, was a very solid hard fighter, and Kevin being so fast. I really do believe that was much more of David trying to think he had to be faster and then lost half of his control. That's what I find generally tends to happen. Yeah. So well done.
Well, Dave's smiling, so obviously he's not too upset.
No. Kevin's fine. Well, Kevin also told him I'm fine. Everything's good.
Yeah.
They're really, really well done.
Yeah. I am not displeased.
Nope.
Up next, the gold medal match.
Yep. I wish I would have kept track more with the with the open more. I got sucked into judging one side, so I didn't catch the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was gold medal match.
Oh,
that was the invitational one, I believe.
Oh, it's the invitational next. Sorry.
Yeah, no, we just did gold. So next up is the invitational longsword, which is, I want to say it is bronze with Christoph.
And I think Stephen Kime.
Yes, and Stephen Kime, who I got to fight both of them.
How did that go?
Oh, it was insanely great. It was insanely great. Christoph was a fantastic, honorable, fun fight. We had a really nice game. He got a really fantastic control toss at the end of the fight. Like, we were neck and neck, and he just, that last movement just sunk it perfect. It was really, really well done. And then, and Kime is just a beast. It was so much fun to fight.
Well, he's dropped a whole bunch of weight, and all of a sudden he can move.
Yes.
So
Oh, and I like
he's a lot faster than he was last year.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you noticed.
Oh no, I've noticed. I kind of got a first-hand impression.
Yep.
What I loved about it is we had a really tough, good fight. It's much more that what I think I liked more about fighting Steven today was much more I got to participate in cutting against him yesterday, obviously. And watching his cutting with the longsword and watching his fencing today, so you can actually see how much they are in sync with each other.
Which is really funny because a lot of times you'll see people that they're cutting and they're fighting really aren't.
No, they don't match at all half the time.
Yeah.
And it's just really nice for me.
See this theory applied?
Yeah. It's the application I really strive for.
Yeah.
Like I somehow managed to get into the finals for cutting, which was fantastic. But the fact that my cutting, and I haven't cut in months. Like I wasn't intending to cut, and then I got cutting, and I was like, all right, here we go.
We just decided you were going to do it.
And I'm okay with that. I like cutting tatami. But it's also just nice to know, like, how you fence, how you cut. It all lines up, so you know what you're doing. You feel the good systematic. I haven't cut since SoCal.
Really? Okay.
And the fact that I was able to actually achieve more this round than I did at SoCal. At SoCal, I couldn't cut through a double mat.
Okay.
And this time I did. And I'm like, okay, I have seen improvement, and I haven't even been cutting. But it's knowing that I still apply the same mechanics. So, like, the ultimate dream, honestly, for me is to, like, if I can place in an open and I can place in the cutting at the same time, like Julian did last year here, like, that's kind of like my dream goal.
Cool. I'm glad we could be a part of that.
Oh, yeah. Also, the Montante cutting was just ridiculously fun. Hard as hell, but ridiculously fun.
Well, I've had the opportunity to swing that thing, and I wouldn't want to cut tatami with it.
Nah. Or at least give me the double mats, man. Jeez. Like, you give me a big thing, I need a big thing to hit it with.
That was one of the things I said earlier about cutting tournaments is it allows for the creativity of the person who's running the tournament. You never know what the feats are going to be until you get there.
It's much like BDSM. It's torture.
Yeah.
You just don't know what's going to happen until they say go. Again, we're starting to approach PG-13, and we will continue. But yeah, this is actually going to be a really good fight. They actually fought. We were in the same pool, all three of us.
Yeah.
So they actually got to fight earlier. So this is going to be. It was a tough fight for them then. It's going to be a really good match.
Well, I know Christoph was giving Lee a hard time.
Yeah.
And I know Steven usually does. So I mean.
This is also just for the commentary of the world. This is actually Christoph's 10th year. This day is his 10-year anniversary of HEMA.
Really?
Yep.
Well, coincidentally, it's also the 10-year anniversary for Blood and Iron.
And there's some irony there. The magic is real.
Absolutely.
This is going to be fun. Two powerhouses. It's amazing.
Yep. Nice.
Good honor.
Christoph is self-calling.
4 points for blue.
Steven.
4 points to
Steve,
blue.
Yeah, Steve apparently broke through the guard and was able to nail the hand perfectly. And Christoph came back for vengeance.
Yeah, nice thrust.
Covered. No. 2 points red.
2 points red.
Fence.
I love the adrenaline of this.
Yep.
Can I go fight now?
both really want it.
Oh, yeah. Both are really, really, really skilled.
Nice exchanges. Really nice.
Crisp movements.
Yep.
Power, strength, speed.
Oh, not quite. Not
Close
enough.
and close. Close and close.
Oh,
There it is.
there it is.
That was impressive.
That was some really, really pretty longsword fighting.
Yep. That was impressive. And Steve's patience to find that opening.
Yep.
Well done.
And Christoph's too, hanging in there looking
Oh,
for
yeah.
his. Yep.
Yep. Steve got an angle.
Target area. Judge bring it in.
I think they're going to discuss about they think it would go through the arms of the head or not.
Yeah. A little bit uncertainty would it actually landed.
Yeah.
And again, sometimes you know it landed, but you just don't know exactly where.
Original call.
And Himan's calling it.
Oh, he's
Thank you, fighter.
calling it to
Chris.
the head.
Hair.
I will definitely tell you this much after fighting Christoph. That's probably one of the most honorable men I have ever fought.
Wow.
That was a well-done match.
And I love it that it's more important to him that he win honorably
Yep.
than just get a prize.
Well, that is the goal, isn't it?
Yeah, no, absolutely. It should be. And unfortunately, it's not for everyone.
No, agreed. But like, I strive for it. I'd much rather lose, respectfully know the truth,
Yeah.
than to walk out with some prize that doesn't mean a damn thing to me at the end of the day.
No.
It was well earned on both parties.
Yeah, no, that was a beautiful fight. I'm glad I got to see it.
Yeah. That's the kind of stuff you want to see in the Invitational.
Up next, Lee Smith. And who's he fighting?
He's got Jesse Tucker.
Oh, right.
It is the first student and the instructor duke out for the last time in a tournament.
And the funny thing is, they go back and forth enough at the Sal that,
Yep.
you know, if it really could go either way.
Yeah. Well, you say
And
that.
they've been here so many times before.
I mean, I feel like, who's married, Jesse and Lee, or you and Lee? Like, this is the question I have to ask, right? Is this like just a cover-up for y'all's moments?
No, I don't think. I think he and Amanda are very happy together.
Oh yeah, no, I know. I'm just being a goofball from hell. Is what I do. This is actually gonna be intense.
Here we go.
Yep.
Just broke through.
Just that slight angle change you give him, he will take it.
Yeah.
Lee is
No,
all
that
about
is
angles.
one thing Lee's very good at is angles
Oh, yeah.
and given the slip, like it's second nature to him almost.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, we've trained Jesse pretty good. He knows how to do that.
Oh yeah.
Just whether or not he'll
Both.
actually work. Not enough, apparently.
Nope.
Almost broke through.
That was tough.
That was a little messy.
Oh, now the
but
blood's coming up.
not enough.
Good, good. Keep moving.
Jesse has a thing where sometimes he likes to stand still.
Yep. There it is.
Oh. Now, ordinarily we don't take hand targets, but Jesse obviously brought his hands down to defend that, so
Oh, yeah.
it would have been a body shot.
Yep.
Now it looks like Jesse bent his sword a bit.
Oh, or Lee bent it for him.
Yep, there you go.
That happens. If he can't break you, your sword's gone.
Whoa.
I'll get there.
Judges, point red, target area, head, 4 points red.
I didn't know Lee was still having trouble with his calf.
Yes, he's finding one of them was really, really tight, and I had to massage him out a little bit just to get him ready for this.
Yeah.
But, you know, if you can't move your feet, it's kind of hard to win a longsword tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully he's not bothering him too much now.
I hope not. But I feel like he probably gave up structure for the calf.
Oh, Jesse's calling a
Yep.
strike to the head.
Solid break in.
A little bit of deliberation going on. Obviously, he didn't like Jesse's calling it on himself.
Yeah.
Calls. To agree with this judge, there was an initial thrust from red, followed by an afterblow from blue. Thrust to the torso.
Even Jesse's confused by that one.
For red.
Okay.
Here we go.
I know Jesse's been wanting to beat Lee at longsword for a very long time.
And this is the last chance.
So
Last
Lee
exchange.
better pull something out, because I'm not sure. Jesse might actually be ahead in points.
Yeah. This is the last exchange. Gonna see how this is gonna go.
Nope, not that.
There it is! Covered thrust from. That was amazing.
Well, it literally took the back of the head protection right off.
Yeah.
Points blue.
That was the ending.
Our silver medalist for the Invitational Longsword, Jesse Tucker, Blood Iron Barnaby. And our gold medalist, Lee Smith, Blood Iron Barnaby.
Damn
That
close
was a-
match.
That was a good final tournament match in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely.
Jesse, as you know, was the first student to ever come into Blood and Iron. So it's fitting I meet him here. And that was fucking the hardest longsword fight I've ever had.
Yep.
Like I said, nothing would have made Jesse happier than to beat Lee at his final tournament.
Yep.
It's really the only shot he's ever going to have.
Yeah. I think he definitely proved it was there, though. Push it to the limit.
Oh, no, absolutely. He definitely made Lee work for it.
Definitely.
So
I think we're going on next to women's.
Yes, women's longsword is next.
Fantastic. Which is actually one of mine.
Yes.
This is going to be interesting.
One of your ladies.
Ah, yes. Amber's actually been doing this longer than I have, believe it or
Really?
not. Yes.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so the original portion of our club, of our organization, that does more of the pit and the armored combat section before our HEMA branch really kicked in, Amber joined that first and then was doing HEMA, I want to say in 2014, 2015 she started. She went to FODE 2015. I do remember that. And I didn't join in until 2016.
Ah, okay.
So another really cool thing is that Amber, we have a couple of locations in Louisiana, in Baton Rouge, Covington, working on a few other things.
Huh?
She actually has been running for the most part of Covington classes. Gets with me, we do video interpretations, work on drills, hey, this is what we need to work on, different things. She'll drive 2 hours to come and train.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's been a constant growth and change that she's gone through from when she started. What's also really, I'm not trying to like brag too much on my people, but you know, but like she literally went to one tournament one time, fought one way, realized all the issues, and by the next tournament a month later was a completely different fighter.
That's fantastic.
Yep.
And very dedicated.
Yep, she's
Very
actually
impressive.
currently fighting with a pretty rough thumb right now.
Judges, you ready? Fighters, you ready? Hug it out.
Hugs for the hug god, as it should always be.
Yes.
Fence.
And Amber is always here for fun.
You say that about most of the members of your club.
Pretty much, we just love fighting.
Yes.
Everyone loves fighting us because we don't care about anything in the fight. We want to have a good, fun, clean fight. Who cares who wins? We had a great time. We actually got that jacket for her recently. She made her own jacket originally that fit better.
Really?
Yeah.
Judges, white
Yep.
blue, target area.
Amber also does all the t-shirt designing, a lot of stuff. She is probably one of the most useful people in our entire organization, and people just don't know it. She also does amazing artwork.
That comes in handy.
Yeah, she also makes all of our
we have a
prizes.
couple at our cell.
Shot to the leg.
Unfortunately, she's not here. Ksenia Kozhevnikovna is an actual artist, and she's done a lot of work for us. And then we have Adrian Hertzak, who's actually designed the logo for our Victoria Highland Games.
Which I love.
Did a fantastic job. We were very pleased.
Yeah.
Put it up on all the T-shirts.
So one thing I was really happy about finding out today was like all my ladies actually got controlled thrust points in the open as well as in their women's matches.
Good.
Just we've been working. Probing. That's the thing. I'll tell you right now, Amber will outweight almost anybody. Until you make a move, she can sit there an entire match. We actually sat there.
And just wait?
Yeah, we actually went there for 7 minutes one time at home.
Really?
Yeah, she will just sit there until you give her something. It's like, oh God. But she knows when she needs to go crush a skull. Mass, whatever.
Let's see what the judges say about that last exchange.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure about it myself.
I saw the headshot, but I wasn't sure about the leg shot. But at the same time, I think it's getting to that moment where they're both realizing where each other's strengths are, and they're trying to play to their strengths, but like it's complete polar opposites, so it's a pain.
Yes.
Blue with afterblow. Target area. Thrust torso. 2 minus 1 points blue.
2 minus 1 points blue.
Vince.
Giselle's moving back. Stay in it.
Now, you might not know this, but Giselle is actually over 50. She is one of our older members of Blood and Iron. Her favorite weapon is actually the Rapier. She's not really much of a longsword fighter.
No, her Rapier work is amazing.
Yeah.
Point. Oh. Judges.
It's funny, whenever anybody at the cell makes jokes about being old, she just stares them down.
I can believe this. I can believe this. They're going to call the leg shot.
Calls. Point red. Target area. Leg. 2 points red.
2 points red. Match red.
Match red.
Okay. Tough good fight. What I love is like Amber just lost and she's over there screaming, "Good job," or "I love you for it."
Well, it looks like it was probably pretty close.
Oh yeah, tight match. I love you, Amber. And Eric is actually going to get the naming right of a club.
I hope so.
Hey,
you think?
Eric, you're actually going to get the naming of a club right this time, right?
Pogo Pogo.
Exactly.
Proctologist.
Order of the Octopus.
All right, well, there's no camera now, so our 4th place finalist, Amber from Ordo Presanctus. All the way from Louisiana. Giselle Blow.
Well done. Well done. And
Our
all the
Victoria Sal is very proud of Giselle.
Yeah, I think just a bit.
Teeny tiny.
And now we're going
Massive,
on to
massive group hug. Okay, we're going to set up for the gold medal women's longsword. And that will be against
It's
2 of our Victoria Club members,
Yeah,
Leanna
Leanna-
Teeter and Jen Bowles.
Jen was on fire in her pools. She has just come out the gate this round.
For women's longsword. In the blue corner, Jen Bowles.
And a proud Eric cheering on his ladies.
And in the red corner, Leanna Teeter, Blood Iron Victoria. Table, are you ready? Judges, are you ready? Fighters, salute. Fists.
And they're off. Nothing good
Insufficient.
yet.
Ah,
Bit of a tangle.
yeah.
Judges.
So
I wouldn't say anything of quality there.
No, no. I feel like Jen got the grab, but then couldn't proceed with the cut.
Yeah.
But I will tell you that she was using that to high effect earlier today.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure we will see that more. And another shot. There. Grapple.
Well, they give you a couple seconds in the grapple to see if you can do something with it. After that, it's just you're dancing.
Pretty
Stop
much.
now.
Yeah, our general rule is about 5, and then we're done.
Yeah.
If you can't do something, then we're over. If anything, for safety's sake.
Head, hold. Judges, point red, target area, arm, 1 point red.
Felt the cut was sufficient. I'm not sure I
Yeah.
But-
Sometimes hard to say.
agreed. We weren't there.
Hold. Judges,
There. both really want this one.
Absolutely. I think Leanna's won in Longsword before. I'm pretty sure Jen has not. So this is kind of her her first medal match. So for her, it's just, yeah, I want it.
Agreed.
Point blue, target area. Head 4 points blue.
4 points blue.
Well done.
Perceived that that strike was perfect in measure. It's also really nice considering that they fight each other often. So like you were seeing the tough work.
Yep. Not quite a
Grapple.
fall to the head.
The counter grappling is on point today.
More hugs.
Hugs for the hug god.
Yeah. It'll be. And again to the grapple.
Again, no exchange.
Nothing accomplished there.
Yeah, we're about to have a conversation about it.
I know you guys both really want this, and you guys are fighting super clean, but a little less grappling moves, okay?
The director has asked for them to grapple a little less.
But they just want hugs. The cuddle howl.
Yes.
Which I understand becomes just difficult for people to watch or be able to judge, honestly.
Well, you can't see anything when it gets in that close. It just gets all muddled and
Nobody saw anything.
nobody saw anything good.
No exchange.
Yeah.
Come on, judges, you can do this. Girls, you can do this. Hey!
Well, actually, it's not up to the judges. It's up to the fighters to make it clean.
That is very true.
Make it a very clear thing that's happened.
Lots of close work, but nothing solid.
Yeah.
Are we just gonna
That's
I think they're all
exactly what they don't want.
Final score.
Final score is 4 points to blue and 1 point to red.
That's good. And Jen walks away with a gold medal.
Jen has just won her first longsword match.
Well, I mean that is
Or
the
medal,
thing.
sorry, not match.
Well, I think it comes down to being is like if you do go into the grapple too much in that fashion where it gets messy and nothing gets called, you have to rely on the few strikes you can get. And the shock comes in. Well done. I always have trouble with the grapple because I want to throw something.
Yes.
And next up is the Broadsword and Targe.
Yes, I
Which
know.
was-
I know a lot of people are having difficulty with the Targe. It's an awkward size compared to what we're used to.
Yes.
A lot of us are doing sword and buckler or sword and rotella, so it's kind of the halfway in between.
I can vouch for the awkwardness. Thank y'all for that wonderful surprise. It was so fantastic. It actually was a ton of fun.
Yeah, well, we tried to make it something different. I know we did a broadsword tournament last year, and we thought we'd add an element.
I definitely will say that it was a ton of fun for sure.
But a lot of people are having trouble with the angles. I know Steve Kime found it difficult.
Oh yeah.
Just because he's used to like sword and buckler, and you do sword and buckler with sword and targe, and it just leaves you open in certain places.
I will agree to that. Well, I thought I had a couple of times where I had it down and just the angle was just off different. So I want to say that it is Dash Harrison, Dash L, Mad Dash, a 50-yard dash.
Yes.
And I'm not sure who he is fighting.
I think
Tony.
Jastinder.
Is it Tony?
Jastinder Singh from Blood and Iron, New Mexico.
Oh, he is fighting Jacinder in this
Yeah.
one. Oh, nice. Fantastic. I know the finals, I know the bronze match is Lee Smith and Anthony Bonomo from Austin, which is ironic for me because that's probably the only one person who could take his sword and buckler and convert it to charge.
Yep.
He was doing fairly well with it. He also made the people stop strapping it for him and did it himself so he could get it where he wanted it.
Well, actually, maybe it's Tony. Sorry, I thought it was Jastinder who was standing in the red spot.
No, it's Tony. I think
They're
Jacinder's gonna be his
armoring
coach.
Tony Huang.
Yeah, so it's going to be Dash and Tony.
And
This is going to be
it's a bit of a thing getting that targe strapped on. It actually needs to be tied on. We were having difficulty finding a handle that would actually accommodate a spec gaunt, and that they wound up with having a strap instead.
Nope. It's like you dropped your guard, right, Meat? Oh, I don't know. When did you actually gonna do it with a steel, though?
Yeah, exactly. Story of my life.
You just gotta keep playing with sticks.
Man, that's what I was telling him, is you can't be in single stick.
I agree.
Yeah, no, I just done up
We're upgrading you from novice finally.
I'm officially the best of the worst.
There we go. Got it.
The best of the really, really good looking people.
Well, that we can vouch for.
Okay, so the bronze medal match between Tony Huang and Dashelle Harrison about to get underway.
Hugs for the hug god.
Yeah.
This is actually going to be a very interesting match for me because Dash being left-handed and Tony right, where Tony has a reach advantage, the angles are now even going to be more crucial.
So the reach advantage versus the left-hand advantage. We'll see which one prevails.
This is going to be an angle day of fun. It's a mathematician's nightmare.
Uh-huh. Dash is trying to present a really small target. Well, he's already a small target. So.
Yeah. But with Tony, who is like a giant octopus of Sword Doom, you need to just get as small as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Both playing the patient game. Almost.
Not quite. Nothing there.
There it is.
They kind of paused for a minute, and
I think
Tony
they
took advantage.
I think they both were not sure quite what was going on. The charge does blind you half the freaking time. When you're trying to cover the head.
Find that halfway point where your head is covered, but you can still see what you're doing.
Yeah. I think that's why we like the shield bash so much. You can get a visual.
Calling a point for blue.
One fighter, one judge. Yep. Nope, both are. Got into the leg shot. Apparently was good enough to get it covered over his head. That is a nice.
Well, Tony does have a lot of legs, so
That is very true. Tony has a lot of Tony, and it is a cuddly warm death.
it's funny. His nickname at the club was Tumbles, and when he first came to us, not only was he really, really tall and scrawny, but he would trip over his feet constantly. Hence the name.
Tumbles.
And part of it was when he would trip, he would actually do barrel rolls, like tumbling.
Oh, so we could just call him Dark Souls Tony. Got it.
Well, you can do that now because he doesn't fall around as much. So.
Still falls though. Dash has been making pretty good work of being short in angle changes and working that shield properly. The charge, shield, the in-betweens. I like how his has to be upside down.
Yeah. Well, that's whoever tied it on.
Yep. Dash is doing a really good job currently of making sure he can lock up that shield and drive it in and go low. It's working to his advantages. And Dash called back for a shot.
Last exchange, last opportunity. Get something done.
There.
Point blue with afterblow. Target. Below the B. 2 minus 1. Sorry, red.
Wait. -1 red? I was calling red hit where you called blue.
I said red. He meant to say blue. Oh. He meant to say red. 2 minus 1 red.
Okay, you said blue first, so I got confused.
2 minus 1 red.
2 minus 1 red. We have a tie.
And we are down to sudden
Wow.
death.
Okay. The score is tied, which means sudden death.
Oh, yes.
First clean hit.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Yep.
I like sudden death.
But the tricky part is getting that clean hit.
Yep. I don't know. They both kind of want it really, really bad.
Yep.
This might get nasty. It can either go one or two ways. It's either going to be extremely long and clean, or it's going to be really messy.
Yep, one of the two. We'll see which one. And it's messy. There's no agreement, so they will refight it.
And, it's going to get messy probably a couple rounds, and we're going to get back to clean.
Hopefully.
Dash is driving in pretty good and hard. I think he's trying to keep up with the same thing he's been doing throughout the fight, while Tony is finally starting to adapt to it.
Yeah, well, the thing of it is, Dash is at a reach disadvantage, so he has to close.
Oh,
Otherwise, he's just not going to hit anything. Nicely done with Tony.
Just like you said, the reach. Tony was finally able to gauge that measure.
Finally remembered that he was tall? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a thing, right? I mean, for me, I'm like one of the short guys in HEMA, and that's still 5'9", and I'm short. It's kind of depressing. Dash is shorter than me by an inch.
There you go. Just makes it that much harder.
Our fourth place finalist, Dashelle Harrison from Indus.
Well done, Dash.
Next up, Lee Smith fighting. Who's he fighting for the? Oh, Anthony
Bonomo.
Bonomo. Now Anthony's been doing really well with this, so we'll see. He'll give Lee a good fight.
This is, he fought for it. He wanted it.
Hmm?
He wanted to fight. He wanted to fight Lee on his way out in something.
Mm-hmm. Well, there you go. Now he's got his chance. I know Lee was looking forward to this fight. Just for the challenge.
Oh yeah. Anthony's been rocking really, really well on his sword and buckler work, and like I said, he was able to convert it over to this. You good? Do you need me?
Are you needed?
No, do you need me? Okay. Well, he is a charming, gorgeous man. He beats even meat and looks. Do a hair flip for the camera. And there is the gracious hair flip that wins everything. So Anthony is actually probably one of my best friends in all of it. It is the gold medal hair flip. Mm-hmm. Bastards won enough of them. Anthony's actually probably one of my best friends in HEMA. We actually generally talk often throughout the time of like concepts, interpretations. We travel a lot for tournaments. Probably one of the only people that can coach me beyond like Eric Wiggins. So it's
good.
It's always good. He's also been doing a lot of hard work in Austin. We're trying to build HEMA culture in that direction, plus with our league. And then he's again going against Lee, who has like built this entire legacy of that is Blood and Iron and everywhere else.
And slowly, we will spread as well.
As we all shall. Eventually, I think it's just going to be like small like nations of clubs.
Yes.
And we're just going to have to start waging wars. It's going to be great.
Oh, could you imagine? That would be awesome.
I would love it. This is going to be fun.
Let's see if they got the shields going right up this time.
Yep. Both right-handers on this one.
Gotcha.
Nicely done.
There you go.
So it's very interesting. Anthony has been working primarily out of I-33, 133, whichever system you want to call it. And there's the honor for the active blowing reshots that I love the most. And Lee and I were discussing and working on the cuts, and it's just a very wonderful time to see how this was going to go. And
Anthony's calling us. Yeah.
Anthony is probably one of the most honorable people I know. If he feels it was perfect, at Combat Con he actually threw a point back because I told him it was flat, and he wants it perfect or he doesn't want it.
No, that's fair.
Lee is in the same fashion.
Lee had a tip
As we
cut
just
to
seen.
the leg, and he did not want it.
To the leg.
Apparently, Lee received a blow to the head that
headshot,
the judges
headshot.
missed, and he's called it.
And there is the honor that I love the most about this. Clean, high-intensity, fun fight. And I love that when you have fighters that'll make sure the judges don't have to do a damn thing.
He doesn't want it. He won't take it.
Anthony will do the same thing.
Yeah.
God, I love watching friends fight.
Yep.
There it is. Well done.
Point blue, target pass, 3 points blue.
3 points blue. Match blue.
That was a match.
Well, there it is. Lee Smith.
Take that final one. I have to say that is what you want to see.
Yes.
Two friends who just go out, have a great time, and the judges are really just there to help. That's what I prefer.
They'll tell you where the blows landed.
Oh yeah.
Anthony Bravo.
Woo!
If y'all will pardon me 2 seconds, I gotta go hug him.
Again, Lee Smith, 130.
My co-host just had to run out and give his bro a hug.
And I'm back.
There you go.
Had to go get the sword love. I get to fight him in a dress next weekend. It's gonna be great. Oh no, it's sword burlesque next week. Damn it.
Sword burlesque. What is that?
So we're actually going to be coming at Bro last year. Last year we actually did a dress fight. Who was the prettiest fencer at Bro at the after party? So me and him came out in dresses. We actually sparred, and then it's like, oh, the dress is hindering, so off came the dresses, and now we're in boxers, and then continue to spar.
I see.
It was fun. So this year we actually are going to come out in gear, and it's going to be a burlesque show where it's like, as we're fighting, we have to like.
Oh, you know what you could do? As the piece of armor gets hit, it's removed.
You have to remove it, yeah.
I like that.
It's fun entertainment, and it's something that Anthony and I actually love doing, and more in the fact that we know each other well enough to where we can go with that much control.
Oh, you have to. Like, I wouldn't have that as an open tournament. There'd be
Oh, no, God, no,
way,
this
way
is-
too big
No,
chance of injury. But between two high-level fighters with that measure of control, yeah, totally fine.
We've done some really, really wonderful work, like with so me and Kyle Tolley from Oklahoma, from Kimbrogi's Western Martial Arts. We actually did it in Mexico at SwearComp only 2 weeks ago for our finals match. And
Yeah.
where we just masked, gloves, elbows, forearm protection. We only wanted the heads to count and just went out there and did it. Nice work, nice and easy. Still showing speed, showing all the technique, but not, showing that, hey, we got this down. And I enjoy those moments because it shows the control.
Yeah. Once you get to a certain level and a certain level of trust with the people that you're sparring with, absolutely. We do it all the time in our club too.
Yeah.
I mean, we call it slow work, but
I
when
can't-
you're at a high level, it doesn't stay slow for long.
Exactly. I can't tell you how many times it actually happens where that's just how I spar. And we are now on to the bronze match for Rapier. And it is against Christoph from Marseille. in Mexico
Against
City.
Justinder Singh, and Justinder, for all intents and purposes, have very minimal training. Apparently, he told me, I'd asked him, how do you manage to pick up so much all this quickly? He goes, watching your YouTube videos, and I was like, oh my God, I had no idea.
Actually, I have a lot of people that actually use your YouTube videos for our stuff.
Oh really?
Oh yeah.
Well, that makes me happy. Spreading the HEMA.
Spreading the love. The love of stabbing your best friend. Yeah! Justinder can't let the battle cries go unanswered.
No, of course not.
Got a little messy there.
I'll never forget, you were talking about battle cries. We were at South Coast Swords one year, SwearComp, and Kron had a thing where they, do their battle cry, Kron, And there was one match, I think it was Jesse Tucker that beat him to it, like literally stole Kron from Kron as he ran into the ring.
I mean, that sounds
I
like
think
Jesse.
Miles Cup didn't know what to do with it.
I mean, that sounds like Jesse. 100%. Both these gentlemen did fantastic yesterday in Rapier. Like, it was a pleasure to watch.
Yeah. Well, like I said, Jacinder's most improved since I've seen him last. But Christoph has come a long way, too, since last I fought him.
I know that he, at the Nationals down in Mexico, I'm not sure if he either placed or was in top 8. He did fantastic in Rapier.
Yeah. I know Jacinder has a few bad habits I've been trying to work out of him, so we'll see if we'll see if it comes out or not.
Shots to the leg.
That was pretty good.
Yeah. I will definitely say, though, bad habits or not, he is probably one of the most honorable and most wonderful people I've ever had the pleasure of competing with.
He's absolutely fantastic. We love him to death.
I think it's something I like about, HEMA as most is it makes you have the best friends. Called the thrust in perfect. And apologies on the excess. And that makes life wonderful. There's a big, strong man with a small sword that can just stick you with it gruntfully. It's great. Couple of shots to tequila, we're going to town.
Not quite enough in the parry.
And
well, considering how far Jacinder's come, he can't be disappointed with a 4th place finish.
God, no, not in this tournament.
We were talking about this last night. He did not expect to do this well, so.
No. Considering that he actually had a wrist injury that prevented him from doing Longsword.
Yes, that is right.
And he was actually able to.
He was doing some yard work with a pickaxe, and he wasn't doing it quite right, and literally transferring all of that force into his wrist.
And for him to go through that and then come here and like, look at where we're at. Like, this is amazing. And another. And, that's probably the other part I think I love the most about HEMA and tournaments is that you have friends that come from all across the entire world together.
Yeah, the Delgados that came all the way up from Mexico. Now that's a big deal for them.
Yeah. And in the finals, we're back to Jesse Tucker and Lee Smith.
It's amazing. Like I said, that keeps happening.
Yep. I will tell you, their match at Combat Con was probably the most sensational Rapier fight I have ever seen. They went 7 minutes with of probing, working, and it came down to a single thrust, and it was like the real thing. It was
absolutely
fantastic.
Well, they've been going back and forth for the longest time, like 10 years. And
it's like
they know each other well. They know what to watch for, and Lee can be a very, very patient fighter. He'll just wait for it.
Mm-hmm. That's a wonderful joking reference to yesterday. He got disarmed and still won against Jacinder after he had disarmed Jacinder.
Yes.
It was amazingly great. If you weren't here, you missed out on probably one of the most magical scenes in HEMA I've ever seen to date. And this also has to be a special treat for you, watching 2 of your students.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. Well,
just progress.
Lee's more my partner, but Jesse, he's a #1 student.
Well, I will tell you,
actually,
Lee.
He's gotten to the point now that less of a student, more of a training partner. So.
Yeah. Well, I will definitely tell you, Lee will say it differently. He says that you have surpassed him, and you are definitely his better and teacher, and makes him better.
Well, I can honestly say my students have been doing rather well. So since I've taken over the Rapier program, Lee got us to a certain point, but he's been focusing more on Longsword and the other weapons. And Rapier was my first love, so he just let me have it.
Yeah, well, it definitely shows, especially in the Amanda Clark fight yesterday.
Yeah, no, she really did very well.
Yeah.
Literally held lead to a single point. And not many people can do that.
No. No matter what the world wants to think, love or hate him, you can't disregard the man is just sensational with the weapon.
And not just one weapon, several.
Oh no, it's like you give him a weapon. You give him a weapon, it's just over. And I know, and I've had great talks with him, and it has been tons and tons of work, so it makes it even better. Oh. And there's a tip.
Somebody lost a tip. Lee's sword.
Well, that came flying at me.
Well, I just didn't want him to go into this next round and actually skewer Jesse. That would
We
have
actually,
sucked.
we actually went through that yesterday with me and Eric Bailey's fight.
Oh, yeah?
Seeing it come off.
You lost a tip?
Lost
Okay.
tip off the sword, and no one else saw it. And I was like, no, I don't want to kill my friend. I mean, I will, but I don't want to.
No, don't make me.
Don't make me hurt you. Don't make me do this. It's, oh God, it's my divorce all over again.
To the leg was a cut, was an afterblow from red. Yes. Sorry, initial cut from red with an afterblow. White -1, red.
Also, thank you all for having me on the commentary. This has been a total treat.
No, we enjoyed having you.
I like to always bring fun to a party.
Yes, you always do. That's why we have you.
Oh yeah. Well, also my wild stories of my trailer park life. It's great. I like to think I'm the Jerry Springer of HEMA.
I'll give you that title if you want it.
I'll pass. I'll just say it myself.
Looks like blue landed something somewhere, or red.
Do we have two
It
that are saying
happens
right?
so fast in Rapier.
So that is actually my thing about it. So I actually had a dislove for Rapier and dagger for a long time. Because my first tournament, I had never touched a Rapier, never watched it. I got forced to judge it.
Oh, wow.
Oh, it was horrible.
It
so I had
is.
zero love for it. And then I came up here last year, and it's like, well, crap, now I actually like this. Because the fighters are just honorable, and we got to see the actual skillmanship.
Well,
It was, oh, look at that.
That was good.
That was a beautiful thrust.
Now, for me, I find Rapier and dagger, when it's done well, is some of the most elegant fighting. And that's one of the things that I love about it. It's one of the reasons why it's my first choice. Also, it's not about strength. It's not a strength battle. So men and women can compete equally. You don't have to have a women's division because it's not about muscling your opponent. It's all about angles and lines.
Yep.
Jesse's trying. He's really
They are
trying.
both probing and trying. And the skillmanship it takes to do this, especially against Lee, is like insanity.
Jesse's no joke.
Hold. Tip.
Somebody else's tip gone?
Lee's tip came back off. As I yell into the microphone, I apologize, people.
Well, it's good that it's got some yellow on there. We might have missed it.
Yep. I just am ever fearful. I know Lee has actually been stabbed from a broken piece, and I would prefer not him to have to repeat that to somebody he cares about tremendously.
Yeah, we got lucky with that one, and it just sort of skirted outside of his ribs. It didn't actually go inside. 'Cause that would have ended him. And yes, we've been very cautious about armor and weapons ever since.
Yep, as it should be.
Still thinking.
Lee's calling a shot to his arm.
White to red. I'm seeing no agreement. Thank you, fighter.
And they finally take note of the fighter call.
Shoulder arm. I don't know what replace that one.
1 point red.
Thrust to the arm as the fighter was calling. Match blue. That was, again, for somebody who came from actually loathing Rapier and dagger like 3 years ago, the fights of watching them makes you actually be like, okay, I like this. I need to do this.
Well, one of the things I find with fighting Rapier, though, it does wonders for your sense of measure and timing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it definitely helped my game. I came out here with a single Rapier and like third time ever, or second time for me.
I was silver last year. I upgraded.
And there it is.
Yeah, no, I did beat him last year.
Oh, I remember. I remember it, and then he had to carry you off.
It's true, because my knee was done.
Oh, it happened.
All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed my final show. How's it today?
And that is the end of an era. 10 years.
I'm at 49 first place finishes in my career. This is my last day of fighting tournaments. I conclude my medical career. Some of you don't know, I'm a second year in my medical school, and 6 months, if all goes well, I'll be off to Xavier and Aruba. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. It's been fucking 10 years. Let's drink some beer!
10 years of some of the most high-level competitions ever in the world, and it's going on. It's actually down in on the snow. We're watching a lot of the originals from back in the days. Finally retiring out. Now it's up to this whole next generation we built to continue it.
Well, it's funny when you go back and you look at some of the old stuff and you cringe, because
Yeah.
what we knew back then is so much different than what we know now.
Oh, God, yeah. But you know what I love about those? We can go look back at that and see what we've built and grown.
Yes, absolutely.
So much work you never see, but we all benefit from. So big cheers.
Well done.
And one more to my beautiful wife, Nicole Smith, who without her, none of this would be possible.
I would like to thank every single one of you guys all for coming out to my event. This is the second year in a row we've done this, and it has been a very big success. You suck! Thank you all so much. Up next, the cutting finalists.
Oh,
Take
cutting.
it away, Julia.
All right. So, I'll get my trusty sheet of paper. In third place of the Victorian Highland Games 2019 Invitational Cutting Tournament, we have Josh Ferret from Order Crusader. Now for these next two, I want to stress how close it was. In two of the feats, the deciding factor was literally one cut. One cut. One from being a perfect 20 points, one being an imperfect score of 16 points. In second place, Jesse Tucker, and in first place, some guy who apparently doesn't have enough gold today, Lee Smith.
You kept it close. I didn't pull everything out. I know.
There you go.
Thank you very much. Thank you all.
One more bigger hand, please. I don't want
Eric, as is my tradition, $50 gift card to, or euros, to Spez.
Real money.
Oh, I know, right? Not this Canadian fake money. Make sure somebody gets it in the community.
Thank you very much, Josh.
Thanks for coming out. But I'm retired, and I'm never going to throw down because Archie's an idiot. So, there you go.
I gotta go again.
Fucking win it for me.
I will. Thank you, brother.
All right. Up next, single stick medalists to the ring, please. Single stick medalists. All right. Our bronze medalists. Kevin DeRitter, Blood Iron Martial Arts in Burnaby. Kevin wins a gorget and a single stick and basket from Purple Heart Armory. Our second place silver medalist, Parmar, wins a custom basket from Barney and Richard Marsden's Polish Saber Manual.
My third copy.
And our gold medalist gets a medal. And
I'm a bro.
addition to bro and HEMA pants. Congratulations, guys. Congratulations.
I need you to come see meet me.
Up next.
They're going to have some more medals coming up and prizes. Give our thanks to our sponsors for donating them. We've been very, very fortunate this year. There've been quite a few people that have very kindly given us things to give our winners. I think they're going to go through Open Longsword next.
Our bronze medalist, Zachary Brown. Thank you. What do we got for him? So we have a Lot 1 Pasta Bar gift card. And, what do we got here? There we go. Forearm with elbow protectors from Superior Fencing. Second place, Kevin Ritter. We get custom forearm protectors from Labyrinth Leatherworks and a pass to Pro Baton Rouge Open.
Thank you.
And David Atwell. Yep. Coffee from Tony Nava Delgado in Mexico. And a Darksword Armory, open it up. Gift card. $100 gift card for Darksword Armory and a favor from Darksword Armory. Congratulations, all three of you.
Yell it, bro.
Next up will be the prize for Invitational Longsword.
Invitational Longsword medalists. To the ring. Invitational Longsword medalists. You got one, two, three. There we go. Do you guys know each other?
No. I just stole his car.
Oh, okay.
Where's your hat, Mr. Gunther?
All right. Our third place finalist. Is that you? Who's third? All right. Who's on third? Steve Kahn receives a €50 Spes gift card and coffee from Tony Nava Delgado. Our silver medalist, Jesse Tucker receives this jacket from Superior Fencing.
Wow. Hey. You did great. Great job.
Superior fencing jacket. Nicely done.
And finally, our gold medalist receives a fader from Encifer.
Thank you, Jan Sodowitz. Jan Vukovic. I love your work.
Congratulations, also.
Tweeting again. You know what? My two top students for Longsword, thank you guys for being here with me. Absolutely. Pleasure.
All right, women's longsword medalists.
Women's Longsword Medal Awards coming up.
So I am particularly proud of this. Come on, guys. My voice is dying. All three medalists are my personal students, and I couldn't be prouder of all three. So in third place, we have Giselle Plord. You received a gift certificate from Lorica Clothing and this belt pouch. From Rapier. Our second place, our silver medalist here, receives a pound of coffee from Tony Navidad. And an axe. And our gold medalist receives entry to Bro Baton Rouge Open next year. And it's the Veteran Favorite. Come here, Giselle. Come here. Yeah. Ben.
Up next will be the Broadsword.
Broadsword medalists. Broadsword medalists.
Jesse Tucker. Tucker and Truck. Sounds good.
Our bronze medalists receives a €50 gift card for Spess. Yay! A cup of coffee from Tony Delgado. Our silver medalist receives a €50 gift card from Spess. A gift certificate from Philly Ford. And our gold medalist receives
Yeah, that's the prize I wanted.
a knife, access to Bro, and a knife from Erwin Lee.
That's a fine piece of cutlery, my friend. Thank you.
Candle first.
I actually wanted to win this so bad.
And
I
now you
told
got it.
him that I would fight my hardest. I fought it my hardest. Because I really, really, really wanted this knife for my student Erwin. Thank you. This is awesome. I picked it up as love at first sight. That's hard not to love such a nice blade.
Yeah, Erwin! Big one guy.
Can you hold this knife and stab him? Can you hold this beer for a second?
Without stabbing Tony?
And hold that.
Without stabbing Tony.
Well, you can stab Tony. He doesn't want to stab Tony. That's right. Get down.
The short guy between the two tall guys.
But one more thing.
We got one more event.
1 second. Tony Wong, are you going to Bro yet? No? Oh yeah, I'll find you next year, yes. And I'm going to give this to you for all your hard work. Tony does lots that you do not see, and more than angels. They can fucking fight like you fucking egg.
There you go. All right, we got one more event. Rapier medalists. Lee, where are you going? Lee, come back. You get more stuff.
I need Jesse and Christoph.
Christoph and Jesse.
Again, Jesse Tucker. What's with this Jesse Tucker guy?
All right. Our
Come on, put the sword down. Here. All right. We're done.
Fighting's over, Christoph. Put the sword down.
Okay, our bronze medalist receives.
The guy that provides the coffee wins the coffee.
Our silver medalist, Jesse Tucker, receives a double jacket. Okay.
I heard that.
Lee Smith receives a Combat Con Warrior Pass.
Thank you very much. Well, thank you. I'll find someone to give this to. Give me your guys. Great job.
Cheers.
Cheers. Fitting end to the career. Great people with me.
Thank you.
Well, that looks to be it for the Victoria Highland Games Open. Thank you for
all
joining us.
watching, and good night. Yeah!